Everyone is smart, including you. And I know that might confuse a lot of you, but think of the average fantasy football nerd. The nerd on fantasy.
Well, Lamar Jackson get this many fantasy points, and then I'll be able to, win the game.
You ask them about fantasy football, and they can go on for hours. They know everything. They know how the points work. They know the odds and all of the crap. Once you start talking about other things that make someone smart, because think about what is being smart. I know the actual definition is, being quick-witted, but when we say smart, we usually think like knowledgeable. Being quick is part of it, but it's an all-encompassing thing when we actually use the word colloquially. So when we start talking about subjects that would make someone smart, like money, philosophy, all those other things, the average fantasy football nerd will completely flounder. But realize it's not because he's dumb. It's because he doesn't take any effort to learn about those things. He learns about fantasy football. So if you talk to me about fantasy football, I'm going to seem like an idiot. But when you talk to him about fantasy football, he's going to seem like a genius. See the difference? I learn about stuff that's important. That's why I sound smart. He learns about stupid stuff. So when you start talking about important things with him, he sounds like an idiot. Right? There's someone I know. And this is kind of to add on to the example. And in general, when you speak to him, he doesn't come off as a very intelligent person. It's like, nothing special. I mean, I guess he's not a complete retard, but he's not particularly smart. But once you start talking about anime, this guy becomes a scholar. This guy becomes a genius. Anime, he go on for hours. This, that, this. He's a genius when it comes to anime. But when you start talking about important things, he seems like an idiot. And this was true for me for a while as well. Although I think I've always sounded smart. Right, because I am smart. And there is genetic, intelligence. I'm not denying that. But what I'm saying is, to hit this criteria of being, smart, as we use the word, you just need to learn about things that are important. Like me, for a very long time, I wouldn't be able to talk about things like this because I just learned about baseball history, basketball history, football history. I sounded smart when I was saying it because my vocabulary was good, genetic intelligence and whatnot. But I was learning about crap. Right? I was learning about stuff that wasn't important. Right, so I wasn't smart in the colloquial sense. So in order to become, smart, what you have to do is very simple. Replace BS with RS. Now, what is BS? BS is stuff like fantasy football. BS is stuff like anime. BS is stuff like video games. BS is other things that just don't matter. That's BS. You become knowledgeable in those things, no one's going to care. No one's going to think you're smart. Like maybe you have a little Discord clan, you're on a football team, a Roblox football team. I was a Roblox football quarterback. Make a video about that. It should be interesting, but, a Roblox football team, I'm leading the team. I'm leading the league in passer rating, all this other stuff. There's someone watching this video that probably knows I'm talking to them. They say all this other stuff. I know this play. I know that play. Who cares? Yeah, maybe you're in a little loser football league. People care, but in the real world, no one cares. Colloquially, no one thinks you're smart because you know about Roblox football. All right. Now, if you were to replace that BS with RS, let's say you learned about vocabulary and philosophy. Well, now, when you start talking about that, you actually start sounding like a smart person. Maybe you spent all that time you spent on Roblox, the legendary loser league. You spent that time, and that's the Roblox football league, by the way. You spent that time, learning about money. You didn't have a lot of money then. Maybe people will think you're smart. Now, a lot of people are like, well, that's not, I don't care if other people think I'm smart. I just want to be smart myself. Okay, great. Guess what? That means you're your own arbiter of what is smart and what is not smart. What is being smart, what is not being smart. So just replace the BS with RS. What do you think? Actually, this is the easiest way of doing it. If you don't care about what other people think, then okay, that's fine. What makes a smart person a smart person? What does a smart person know? Well, let me think about it myself. Well, I think they know about logic. I think they're good speakers. They know their language very well. They learn about new things every day. And, I don't know, let's say they know about why or why not they believe God exists. There's a few things when I think about smart, and there's a lot of other things as well, but, they know how to take care of themselves, all this other stuff. And guess what? There's no genetic magic switch that makes you good at those things. How do you get good at those things? You learn about them. Now what's stopping you from learning about them? Replace BS with RS. Okay, think about what a smart person knows and just learn those things. Boom, you're smart by your own standard. Want to do it by other standard? Okay, well, other people's standard. Okay, money, philosophy, vocabulary, so you sound smart. Health, fitness. There you go. Now you're a smart person. It's really not that difficult. And one of the big things you have to do is get over this limiting belief, like, well, I can't be smart because of this and that. There's a lot of people, I guarantee this, there's a lot of people you think are smart online, or even in person, that aren't really smart. They're actually kind of dumb. They just took time to learn things that make you think they're smart. Okay? Like, you need to not pedestalize being smart so much. It's really not that big of a thing. It just means you're a complete retard. You replaced BS with RS, which isn't that hard. Now, what smart people are not, okay, and a lot of people miss this, and it's kind of like the bell curve thing, what smart people are not are like these college graduates with degrees in like liberal gender studies and crap. They have a degree, they have a PhD and all those other stuff, so they seem smart, but they aren't really that smart. Because, the bell curve of IQ, it's like you have a bunch of really dumb people, then you have, the average, and it's kind of smart, then you have the really smart people. And that's IQ. Now, we're not really necessarily talking about IQ here, but it's kind of like the person all the way in the really dumb section just takes whatever they are fed by the media and the government, whatever. So they're kind of dumb, all right? They aren't capable of learning things themselves. That's how dumb they are. Like these are genetic, like Down syndrome type of people. If you don't have Down syndrome, then you don't fall in that category. And then you have the average person. Now, the average person is actually in the same position as this person because the average person takes whatever they're fed, but they take it at a higher level. They go to college, and they're like, well, I learned this, I learned that in college. Well, guess what? You're being said you're fed the same information as this guy up here, but they just use smarter words. They use bigger words. They give you a piece of paper that says PhD, degree, whatever the hell it is, right? So these people are actually in the same position. These people are equally dumb by my standard. Now, the really smart people, again, we're not necessarily using IQ, but we're just using the bell curve. Now, really smart people aren't necessarily genetically more gifted than these two other people, but they just know what's actually going on. They aren't sheep. They actually learn about things that are important. And guess what? It's not because they have some degree, and that's really the point I want to hammer home here. Just because you have a degree, just because you went to college, just because you got good grades in school doesn't make you smart. It can be a decent indicator. I mean, I think a genetically smart person is probably better at, probably gets better grades, and probably has a better chance of getting a degree. And someone who's smart in the sense of actually learning things, like I've said in this video, they probably also, because they're able to learn things, they're also probably, I just got an email. They're probably also able to get better grades than the average person because they know how to do research, which is a skill, by the way. But the point is, if you're just taking what's fed to you, by the government, by the media, then you aren't a really smart person. You're just regurgitating stuff you heard on CNN or MSNBC or even Fox News. Because I know people are like, well, if you don't like CNN, you like Fox News. I don't really like Fox News. It's all fake news. You're just taking what they say and you're just applying it to your life, then you aren't a smart person. You're sheep. All right. Now, the importance of learning. Learning is extremely important, okay? You need to learn every single day. This is one of the easiest ways to become smart. Just learn every day. Literally. Just learn every day. Give it a few weeks. Learn about RS instead of BS. Give it a few weeks, and you're going to be a smart person. People are going to be like, oh, yeah, you're a smart person. You're going to get those compliments. Unless you're like, hey guys, hey guys, I learned about philosophy yesterday. Like, no one's going to think you're smart. Everyone's going to know you're a Down syndrome retard. Excuse me, but it's true. Okay? I only tell the truth. Alright? And also, don't think learning, there's a razor I have. You know the razors in philosophy? It was like Occam's razor. Don't add unnecessary new assumptions. Well, I have my own razor, Rocha's razor. And this razor states, Do not read a book on a subject you can learn adequately in a shorter video summary. That's the truth here. I mean, there's people who read 6-hour books for 6 hours, when there's a 10-minute summary, and they get the same information out of both. Like, maybe they get a little, like, okay, this is the information you get from the 10-minute summary, and this is the information you get from the 6-hour book. Like, is the 5 hours and 50 minutes really worth this little thing here? Is it really worth it? No, it's not. It's not. Just think about it. Just do basic math. And also, again, I already said this earlier with grades, but school is not really learning, okay? Unless you want to be a lawyer, you need good grades, and maybe you want to be a teacher, like a school teacher, then okay. Maybe it's more important. But in general, for someone like me, someone who wants to make money, someone who actually wants to speak well, someone that wants to actually make a difference in the world, doing stuff that I do, school's not important. I've generated over 6 figures. School didn't help me at all. Except, basic maths. So, if there's one thing you want to take away from this video, is that you need to dedicate every single day to learning new things. And this is a part of the movement we have here. You may say, oh, well, the title says Christian men, but, what does it have to do with Christianity? The Bible tells us, provide, protect, be responsible, and this all has to do with being respectable. In order to fulfill the roles the Bible gives you as a man, you need to be smart. When I say smart, I don't mean genetic smart. I mean, you actually learn about RS instead of BS. And education is a very big part of this movement here. Building back Christian men. Build back Christian men. If you want to join this movement, link in the description to the Discord. Check out my Instagram. Follow me. Like my post. My Instagram looks better. Go to my website. Give me your email so I can give you newsletters. And subscribe to the channel. Those are my call to actions. I'll see you next video.